Alright, hello everyone and welcome to my Eruption of Shame, the monthly episode where I basically just go through and have a look at all the recent Humble games and make comments on them and see if they're actually worth doing or using or what. So, yes, Humble, Amazon, and whatever else I feel like, really. So, yeah, without further ado, let's have a look at this current Humble choice. So, straight out the bat, I looked at this and was like, huh. I think I own a few of these games already, and a few of them don't look too great. But let's have a better look at them. So we got something called Due Progress, which when I looked it up actually said it was a multiplayer game. So it little bit concerning about that. It's multiplayer only, so it probably won't show up on my mountain because, as you know, I generally don't play multiplayer games too much. But I mean, as a game goes, I do like the whole procedure generating maps and all this sort of stuff. So yeah, Due Process doesn't look too bad. It's an interesting art style. Nothing wrong with that. I don't know anything really about it, of course, but if you like multiplayer shooters, maybe that's one that's worth it. Now, one I do know a little bit more about is this House Flipper game. Now, this game's already on my Mountain of Shame, but I've got the VR version. So now I've got a bit of choice as to which one I end up playing when I do roll it, whether I want to play the VR version or the regular version. I do feel like both will be worth a try, and both might come on my mountain, but I think the VR one's probably going to be where I'll be more likely to play it, I think. So basically the idea of House Flipper is it's similar to that, to the new arrangement of games, which are like trying to simulate making something better, like the lawn mowing simulator and such, but it was one of the first. So you buy houses, you renovate them, and you put them together. I haven't played it obviously yet. That's why it's still on my mountain. But I gotta say, I did wishlist the VR version. So if the original version's just as good, if not better, hey, maybe not a bad one. It has an overwhelmingly positive rating. So yeah, this is a game I know nothing about. It says it's a Humble original, which explains why it's here. It's been relatively well received, and let's face it, I don't play that many flying games. I do have a rig for it though, so maybe this will be good. Oh, it's another VR. It's got VR support as well, so okay then. I guess that is a good one for me. I guess this bundle's. It's a shame this one doesn't have VR for free, because if so, this might be a good VR bundle. Be nice to offer some VR games occasionally, wouldn't it? Now, Wingspan. This is a game I can talk about. I know, shocking, right? The person who loves talking about birds has played the bird game, but. So I didn't play this for a very long time. A friend convinced me to buy it, and so I did, and it was a lot of fun. And now I've got another copy, so I'm going to have another copy when I buy this. So I'm going to give it away to one of my other friends and maybe play some multiplayer of it. So I'm really looking forward to that. Basically, it's a game where you're building up a series of different hands, basically nests, filled with birds. Each bird has a special effect, and over time you just go through. It's technically versus, but you can play it on your own or with the PC pretty easily. In fact, even when you are versing someone, it's not so much versing as it is playing side by side. It's a bit like playing solitaire with someone else. There are certain ways you can screw each other up, but for the most part, it's all about trying to get the most points in one go. And of course, it's positive is, of course, the fact it's full of birds. So, look at this.
The birds are settling around here to start a new life. Each bird in your preserve makes you better at discovering new species, laying eggs, or gathering food. Create powerful chains of abilities that echo real life. Your hawks will hunt, pelicans will fish, and geese will form a flock. Wingspan, a relaxing strategy game.
Now, I must say, this is obviously the same as the board game of the same type. And if you feel like playing this, you're probably best getting the board game eventually. But this is a really good way of learning how to play Wingspan, and then getting the board game later. I've bought the board game after playing the game, and it does help a lot to play the game on here first. Now, the game on here does not currently have the expansion packs, nor is there any news that the expansion packs will be coming out. So do keep that in mind if you pick up this title and if you are going to pick up this bundle in general. BPM, this is another one I've got. So, you know, it's okay to have it again, I suppose. Basically, BPM is a roguelike that is actually incredibly hard. At least I found it hard. I couldn't even get past the first level, but I had a hell of a time doing it. Basically, it's a dungeon crawler that's a rhythm-based one. So much like in Cryptid Necrodancy, you have to attack or move right on the beat. In this one, you have to shoot on the beat. And essentially, you've got to go through this dungeon and you've got to try and make it through, almost like a turn-based real, while also being real-time. So it's quite hard. It's got a rocking great soundtrack. It's pretty good though. So I actually really should relook at this myself because I gave it like 10 hours or something, and I really want to give it a bit more. So is this a good game to have in your bundle this month? Yeah, it is. This is a good game. This is a good game to have in your bundle, especially if you're better than I am. Now, this is a game that I had on my wish list. So I got it probably because of its silly name and its cuteness. So I was actually, when I saw this on there, I was like, yay, that's on my wish list. So yeah, it's apparently a thrilling single-player adventure full of tax evasion, petty crimes, and more. So honestly, it seems like right the sort of comedy that I would like. In fact, let's have a look at the trailer and see. It's Tax Evasion DLC. Let's look at the original one and have a look here. Because honestly, this also feels like a positive one for me, at least. In a world where the rich and corrupt rule, one turnip will take a stand by evading his taxes. In April 2021, wow, it's a new game. Came to Humble Bundle very quickly. Uncover these conspiracies. Plus, I think it's a Humble original, so that explains it. Fight for the lands. Oh, I'm looking forward to having this one on my mountain. And save your home. It's sort of giving me real potatoes vibes. In fact, it might be made by the same people as the Holy Potatoes games. I would not be surprised to find out that was made by the same people. But no, it's really. I'm looking forward to this one, Psychronic. So I think I probably would claim this one just for this one alone. But hey. Now, this one I didn't really look at, obviously, in too much depth, but it looks interesting. You design your own rocket. I feel like this is going to be one I will suck at, but same token, versus something like Kerbal Space Program, is it better or worse? Is it more accessible or not? I don't know, but it'd be fun to find out, wouldn't it? I do like space, though. Just saying, like, space is really, like, yeah. Now, if this is done as a full, like, physics simulator, sort of build it up without any limits, it might be quite fun. But I feel like if it's a tycoon game, despite the fact I love tycoon games, I would suck at it. That's why I sucked at Kerbal Space Program. It really does look like Kerbal Space Program without the silliness of Kerbals. So I'm not really sure how I feel about that, but it's 89% positive, so, you know, not terrible. I think already this bundle's looking better than last month. Last month, I really only claimed because, you know, yeah, I'm doing a channel which involves me playing a bunch of games I've never seen before. But yeah, all good. So yeah, this one I just looked at the actual logo and it looks really cool. It reminds me of almost Broken Age in its split in the middle, and it's also got some like I don't know, it's got some cyberpunky vibes, and yeah, it looks quite interesting. I don't know what the gameplay is, though, so let's have a look at this one. Once again, this is another overwhelmingly positive title, so I think this is the third one in this bundle. Wow, okay. I'm not sure how I should take the reviews being that positive, but damn, that's a good sign. And the music. Okay. This looks amazing. Yeah. Okay, you know what? I don't even want to watch more of that. But, like, damn, that looks really good. I don't even want to watch more of that. I just want to put it on my mountain and let it come up again and just play it then because, wow. So that game was really cool. I can't wait. Now, this one, I did hear today that it had some controversy. Something about its developer or something. I don't know about anything about that, though. But, you know, it's still in early access, so that's a little bit concerning. It does look interesting, though. It's giving me a real Hexen vibe, not a Doom vibe. It's giving me a Hexen vibe, or maybe a Quake vibe, which I'm definitely on board with. And it also says it's from 3D Realms, which is pretty great. So, yeah, only very positive, but now that's giving me Morrowind vibes. Oh, I like the music. I like the music a lot. Actually, this looks pretty damn cool. It looks kind of scary, but not in a scary way. So that just looks like, well, that's the Doom font, clearly. But like, the game itself actually is closer to Hexen, or maybe Quake. I think closer to Hexen though. So, yeah, no, that sounds really interesting. Obviously, it's one I'd rather play when it had fully came out, but as it stands, no, it looks pretty good. It's in one hub world in 2019 when it came out. Then they got one level, one enemy, and one artifact in 3 months' time. Another level, enemy, and artifact in another 3 months' time. And then it says here in another, how many months is that? Like 7? There is another enemy, monster, and artifact. But apparently they're planning on having 3 hub worlds, 15 levels, 10 artifacts, 9 weapons, and 15 enemies, bosses, multiplayer support, full mode support. They're not going fast enough. That roadmap is like, oh yeah, well, here, take the first bite, the second bite, the third bite, and now we're going to pour the rest of it down your throat. But, you know, fair enough. Mobius Front 83. Ooh, it's not a good sign that this one doesn't even actually have a rating on Steam. Okay. But it's giving me real Advanced Wars vibes, which was always an interesting game. I never got into it much because it's on console, though. So, you know, why not? It's something I wouldn't buy myself, though. So this isn't one I'd be interested in, really. So, yeah, overall, you've got 1, 2... 3 overwhelmingly positive games. The rest of them are very positive. It's not the best bundle out there, but it's much better than last month. I admit, when I first looked at it, I was a little bit more concerned. I thought maybe it wouldn't be as good, but, you know, it's better than last month. I'll give it a go. I'll go into it. I think a lot of people don't like a lot of these bundles just because there's only like 1 or 2 games they like in it. Like if they really like roguelikes, they only really like BPM or something, right? If they only like FPS, they only really have RAF. But I think the way you're meant to look at this is it's meant to encourage you to play all sorts of different games. And sometimes it is noticeably worse. Like the games from last month were noticeably worse. This one looks all right. But where the exciting stuff actually comes with this month is actually with Prime. So if you've got games for Prime this month, yeah, you get 3 massive titles just sitting there, just for free. Dragon Age Inquisition, which granted, you've probably already played. In fact, a lot of these games are games you've probably already played. But if you are getting into gaming and you need a good library starter, these are 3 solid games to get added into your library. Dragon Age Inquisition, while it's not the first in Dragon Age series, it's definitely was a good game on its own. It was obviously not as good, as a bit more open worldy, but it's still got a good storyline, great music, and much better character development and much better gameplay than bloody Dragon Age 2 did. Now, Control, I haven't played. It's on my mountain. Eventually, I'll get to it, I swear. Same with Rise of Tomb Raider. However, this game has full RTX support. It's a good sort of a setup. It really looks very, very interesting to me, and I'm looking forward to trying it when the time comes. And of course, Tomb Raider, Rise of Tomb Raider, which I have a friend who loves Tomb Raider. I think I may have even given away my copy of Rise of Tomb Raider to someone who likes it. I don't know. Either way, I guess I'll have it now again either way. But let's have a look what else there is. So Dragon Age Origins, Dragon Age Inquisition, mostly positive, nothing too crazy here. It's exactly what you'd expect. It's a Dragon Age game, so it's high fantasy, very similar to Game of Thrones or Lord of the Rings or any number of those sorts of things. Inquisition went down the whole point of having this massive open world. It does have timed missions, but you can cheese it with the clock. The time missions are probably the least favorite part of it. Now, it does seem that the Game of the Year edition comes with all the DLC, which is obviously a massive, massive positive. I don't even think I played all the DLC, to be honest. So, fair enough. Now, Control, as I said, pretty good game. Was re-released. In fact, did I? Yeah, I did get Control on Ultimate. There was a bit of controversy when this came out when they released the Ultimate Edition. I don't think the original owners actually got a copy of this, which is really rare. So I guess if you've been looking to upgrade, then maybe that's a good thing, right? So yeah, Control, fair enough. We've then got Rise of Tomb Raider. Once again, very positive game. It's a classic, it's like the return to the classic. So I see why they're giving it out at the moment, but always a positive game to receive. So 3 very positive, not overwhelmingly positive, but 3 very, very positive, well-received games. And then we've got some other things here, like Puzzle Agent. Now, this is a Telltale game, and you might be like, well, it doesn't look like a Telltale game. It's like, no, it doesn't, but this is what the Telltale adventure games used to look like before Sam and Max, or before they started basically making nothing but Sam and Max games. So they were very different adventure games. I haven't played this though, so it will be on my Mountain of Shame as well. So we'll see. Is it any good? Who knows? Rogue Heroes, Ruins of Tazos. For me personally, this is probably the game which I'm most likely to play and enjoy of the Amazon games. Obviously, I see the Amazon bundle as being, free, because I already pay for Amazon for the sake of, Amazon Prime sort of thing. So this is just gravy on top. But it is a roguelike. I love roguelikes. It's got co-op, which sounds interesting, and it sort of gives me Zelda vibes, crossed with a little bit of, maybe it's Zelda vibes, to be honest. So yeah, that one looks very interesting. Obviously, these games, once again, they're not released on Steam. They're through the Amazon Prime thing, app, the Amazon gaming app. But if you claim them, they do not go away. And if you like these games, and you don't have Amazon Prime, you can also claim them as part of your free trial. So if you start a free trial and you feel like you want Inquisition, Control, and Tomb Raider, go for it. Those are 3 AAA titles which are not terrible that you can get in literally for nothing. So yeah, just make sure you cancel it first, so you don't cancel it when you do it, so you can not accidentally subscribe to it in a month. But yeah, Rogue Heroes looks pretty good. Secret Files, Sam Peters. Now, we have played a Secret Files game before, just a little bit of it. I wasn't too impressed. I wasn't too unimpressed either. Like, it wasn't as bad as the game that's on my channel yesterday, the bloody Vatican game. But it's you get what you pay for, and in this case you're not paying, you're getting it free. So I'm not expecting too much about this. Oh, that's interesting. Road 96 is made by them. Oh no, it's not. It's being advertised, so maybe they're the same publisher. I know, but still. Brakes for Losers, basically saying my entire general approach to racing games, which is fair. Nothing too crazy here. Just a little arcadey racer, sort of thing you'd usually find on Flash. So nothing wrong with that, especially now Flash is dead. It says it's got 4-player local and local multiplayer, so why not? I do hope it has single player. It says it does, so we'll find out. I doubt this is going to be my sort of racing game though, because I doubt it's going to have like upgrades and stuff, but still. Second to last, we have Liberated, which has a lovely comic book looking aesthetic. It's in black and white. It looks very interesting. This is another one which might end up being very cool for a free game. So once again, Amazon Prime, second month in a row that Amazon Prime is the one bringing out the big guns in general. Three decent AAA titles and a couple of games which are actually quite interesting looking. And then another one that isn't. Yeah, this is just a hidden object game. Fair enough. Though it should be said, I did play a hidden object game like this. It didn't record, and I was very sad about that. So it was actually a decent game, surprisingly enough. So I'm actually looking forward to seeing one of these other hidden object games pop up and see what happens. But yeah, so the Prime games, not too bad. The Humble Bundle games, not too bad. It's definitely better than last month. It's still not, what everyone's cup of tea will be, but it's still better than it was before. But what else is going on? Well, I did also purchase the Fighting Juggernauts bundle, which, if you know how much I hate Batman, probably wasn't the best idea. But I did want to try some Mortal Kombat. I want to try some of the, I think it was most Mortal Kombat, let's be honest. I thought I wanted Soul Calibur. It turns out I got that on the Humble Bundle a few months ago. So if you're thinking about buying this, you might want to jump down a stage. Oh, no, never mind. They give Soul Calibur with 3 other games. So, but basically, just keep in mind, Soul Calibur has been given out in the Humble Bundle just recently. So, there's a point there to be made. So, yep. There's also the Sonic Anniversary Bundle. Has a bunch of Sonic games. I decided not to buy this just because, well, I'm not really a massive fan of Sonic. I've got a couple of them already on my Mountain of Shame. I might regret it one day. Who knows? Maybe I'll play a Sonic game and absolutely fall in love. But for now, I think I'm just going to leave it on that regards. We also have the Asper Bundle. I didn't buy this one purely because I already own every game in it. And I say every game, and you're like, yeah, I mean every game. Like, you think, oh, it doesn't own Layers of Fear. No, unfortunately, I do own Layers of Fear. It was free at some point. And I'm very sad about that fact. It's a horror game, so that's always a no from me. But obviously, Borderlands is always a positive. Bioshock Infinite is always great. Beyond Earth is actually the weakest in the Civilization franchise recently, but it's worth playing, even if there are better options out there. It's always nice to have the season pass for Bioshock Infinite. I never did get a chance to try that. Light Matter and Morcado, not sure what those really are, but Fahrenheit, So it's not a bad bundle if you don't have these games already. Same with this bundle here, the Paradox Interactive Stratagems bundle. I didn't have Empire of Sin, but I've got all the rest of them pretty much. I don't have Ice Lakes either. But I've pretty much got most of what I want here, so I didn't really go for it, especially since a lot of it is just this Prison Architect DLC. Now, I actually really like the idea of Tyranny, but it wasn't ever fun for me, so that one's right out. Empire of Sin's obviously fun, but my favorite Paradox game is Stellaris, and it's not here, which makes sense because it has had a Stellaris bundle just recently. Knights of Pampeda 2 is also very good. So yeah, overall, I've added a lot of games to my list this month, and so if we look at what we had last month, so last month we got the addition of all of these Prime games, including a couple of extra ones that were actual good games. Actual good games, AAA games. Then we had the Humble Bundle, which was very much a disappointment. I was given Far Cry 6 by a friend. And then we have a bunch of sales that came on. I got a bunch obviously from the Humble Bundle, sale. I forget which one that was. I guess that was a board game bundle that I bought. I bought some random games, got some Kickstarter game freebies come in. Love and Fighters game. I decided to get a bunch of more sketchy titles because I'm still waiting for one of those to come up on my mountain because I think it would be hilarious and horrible at the same time. So I've got a few of those games on there. I bought a bunch of games in the Halloween sale because why not? Only 2 of them are really sketchy. The rest of them are stuff some of them you'll notice are wishlist games, like Sorcery Parts 1 and 2. I actually I played Sorcery Part 3, and I really liked it. So I said at the time, I would want to buy Sorcery Part 1 and 2 to try it, so I can go back and do Sorcery Part 1 and Part 3. So yeah, I did buy it, so I am looking forward to trying that. Unfortunately, it's also the month for horror games, so I got a number of horror games as well, which kind of sucks. The Fighting Bundle, as I said, a few different ones from the Halloween Steam sale, and the Humble Steam sale. So there's a lot of new games I added this month. Oops, I accidentally deleted one there. There's a lot of new games I added this month. So if I go back to just before we had that video, I have currently added, and I feel kind of bad for this, 106 new games this month. Oh dear, what have I done? And as usual, they are all on my massive list of unplayed games. So they all have an equal chance of coming up and being part of my mountain of shame. So thank you all for joining me on my Eruption of Shame, where I go through the games for the month when it comes to Humble, when it comes to Prime. We're going to keep on drawing random games every day. You just probably saw a spoiler of a few of the upcoming ones. I admit I'm a little bit further behind than I would like to be. I'm trying to make that better, but I've only got so much time that I can record. And I try to record in batches, but it is quite difficult. Also remember, please leave comments and talk and say stuff. It really does help. I know at the moment I'm really not very good at self-promotion. I even had to be told to post my stuff on Reddit when someone was like, "Hey, I'd like to check out YouTube channel." I'm like, "Oh yeah, I hadn't even actually considered that when I said that, but okay, yeah, sure." So I posted that down. In fact, I've actually gotten a few subscribers from that, strangely enough. So if anyone did come from that post on Reddit, I hope you do enjoy it. I know it's a little bit silly, but I just want to keep playing games. And if you want to see me suck at games, you want to see me go really well at games, there's a bit of everything here. So I do hope that I can have something at least to run in the background so you can listen to my voice or something. As usual, though, thank you for joining me on my Eruption of Shame. This is usually my most watched video because it actually has keywords in it. But as usual, from tomorrow onwards, there'll be more games being released every day. I release a new Mountain of Shame every single day. As long as I've got videos to upload. The next game is Depth Hunter, and it's a underwater hunting game, and I really felt bad about that one. I'm not gonna lie. I also have a bunch of other games I just recorded. I'm really looking forward to that. If you haven't checked out the Figment video and the Child of Light video, I really like those games. Really resonated with me quite a lot, and there's a few other games coming up that really resonated with me. So yeah, if you like what you see here, just remember to keep subscribed to the channel, keep watching. And of course, there's also going to be, this also is the playlist where you can watch all the videos and sort of see my highs, my lows, and my total abject failures whenever I run into a horror game, which unfortunately now after Halloween, there are a few more horror games, though hopefully hard to get to because of all the other games I bought. Anyway, thank you once again for watching, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.